All right, there we go. Sorry about that. Totally forgot to do a microphone for my new layout. Hopefully, you guys are hearing me just fine. Yes, you should be hearing me just fine. If not, then I apologize and I will redo this show. So, this is going to be a test run of a possible new morning show. Try to do this every morning, at least Monday through Friday, just to liven up your day and start it off just right. So, what are we going to talk about today? It is the holiday season, obviously, and it is time to start shopping for yourself, for your family, friends, and whatnot. So, let's talk about introducing people to your hobby, this thing that you love so much. So, there's a lot of ways to get into miniature wargaming. So today, I'm going to focus primarily on Games Workshop because that's what we've always kind of been about here. Tomorrow's show, I'm going to actually talk about the new exciting game, Marvel Crisis Protocol, that's coming out. I'm going to kind of walk you through it and give you the highs and lows of it and why you want to get involved in it. So, for this segment, we're going to talk about Games Workshop and Warhammer 40,000, and in a future one, I'll talk about Age of Sigmar and how you can easily get into these games. So, you're seeing here is Space Marine Adventures. Now, you might tell people like, oh, hey, for your kids or your friends, your girlfriend, wife, family, oh, buy them this box. They're going to want this army because it's pretty or it's really OP, and you start putting in your own bias onto why they want to buy this or that instead of concentrating on the very basics of getting them involved. So, all right, yeah, perfect. Thanks, Epion. Space Marine Adventures is a great way to get started. Now, right now, you can get this at Barnes and Noble and at Target. Space Marine Adventures basically is a mini dungeon crawl. You get 5 Space Marine miniatures: Imperial Fist, Space Wolves, Blood Angels, Salamanders, and Ultramarines. And it's just a quick dungeon crawl where I shouldn't even say quick because there's lots of different levels of involvement for this. And you can see the different cards. You got a bag full of tokens for your Necron counters, what you might be fighting. And you only have to worry about your 5 miniatures. You don't even have to paint them because they color code them for you. So it's a great introductory to family, friends, and kids before, you never know what kids are going to be like. They might be like, oh my gosh, I want all this stuff. And then they get it and they put it together. And then, oh, look, Borderlands 3 or some other, Minecraft, whatever. And they forget about it. Now you just spent, a small fortune on an entire army that your kid isn't going to use. So a good way to get your son or daughter involved is through this. Space Marine Adventures, it's $35, I think, there at Barnes & Noble. And if you're one of those members, you get some discounts. You always get coupons in the mail, so you can actually drop that price down. So you get all these miniatures, really high detailed miniatures here. You're not getting really crappy miniatures. Oh, that coffee is hot. Coffee's hot. You get some high detailed miniatures, and they're all color coded accordingly. So here's your Blood Angels. Here's a bunch of cards that go along with the game. And this game is designed, it's a co-op game for 1 to 4 players. So yes, you can play the game just by yourself. And so if your kids are bored one day and they got nobody to play with, they could bust that out and play that game by themselves. Let's see here. There we go. There's another miniature. I think that's supposed to be the Space Wolf. Those are really high detailed miniatures. So you're not getting just these bargain basement copies of the old static pose miniatures that came out. So really cool game there. Now, as I said, this is available at Target and Barnes & Noble. But what is only available currently at Barnes & Noble are the first 2 expansions for this. So after your kid has beat this game, your daughter, your son, and I do highly recommend trying to get any gender involved in this. Your wife, they might actually enjoy this fun game. Maybe sit down around the dinner table, after you guys have dinner and it's family time. This is a quick game to play, 30 to 45 minutes at most. I imagine the more people it plays, the faster it can actually go. But we get the expansions. I believe this is the first expansion, the rescue mission. You get 3 more Marines in there. You get a Silver Skulls, a member of the Silver Skulls. You get a Crimson Fist with a missile launcher, and you get a Dark Angel with a plasma gun. Kind of typical. And this expands upon the original game, the original box set, giving you more missions, more models, more special abilities and cards to play along. As you can see here, it's a cheap expansion, or inexpensive, I should say. I shouldn't say cheap because it's anything but cheap. It's an inexpensive. I didn't know that either until I was doing some shopping for family for Christmas this year, and I came across this because I was actually looking for the Warhammer Adventure books. So it shows you in detail all the extra little stuff you get in there, 3 more miniatures, and once again, color-coded, so you don't have to, guess which one's the Dark Angel, which one's the Silver Skull, or the Crimson Fist. Very good for help identifying. Very easy to build, 2 or 3 parts, and they're going to be snap fit. But if you want to super glue or plastic glue, go ahead. Just make sure the kids are being supervised if they're too young. And you can see they're on these easy to build sprues. So if you've seen the Space Marine Heroes at your local game stores, or even maybe at Games Workshop, you have the blind packs where it's like $7.99 and there's a Space Marine miniature in there, pre-posed, and it's a snap fit. These are along the same vein. In fact, I believe that some of these models might be from that original Space Marine Hero set, and they've just been dyed. Basically, the injection molds had dye put into the plastic to get the different colors out there. So once again, more expansion cards. Really cool. I'm liking this, and the fact that it expands upon the game, and it's basically like a dungeon crawl, guys. Especially if your kids are used to playing games like Minecraft or any of those quick handheld games where you just kind of like blaze through, blow stuff up, explore, find loot, and move on to the next mission. This is really ideal, and it gets them hands-on. Now, for parents, let me stress this, parents. This is an excellent opportunity to help socialize your kids, get them to be reading, to get them to work on math skills. There's a lot involved beyond just, they're playing with little plastic toy soldiers. No, a lot of critical thinking, creativity with the art, art-wise when they're painting these models, the reading comprehension that comes along with this, math, the light math skills, but it gets them involved with math. So there's a lot, and then of course the social aspect. They're playing with their friends. They're going to their friendly local game store, and interacting with everybody else. So once again, we have another new mission, the recon mission, and I might have gotten those swapped. The first one was the rescue mission. I'm pretty sure that the recon mission is the brand new one. What I like about this one is that it expands upon the type of characters, or the type of chapters, really getting the kids involved and even adults, and getting them immersed in the Warhammer 40,000 universe. So we have a captain from the White Scars, we have a member of the Celestial Lions, and a member of the Hawk Lords. Real kind of like obscure chapters, but more Space Marines to get them involved in. That might, their background as the kids read about them might trigger something like, oh my gosh, I like the cultural aspect of these different chapters, these different type of Space Marines from different ethnicities, different worlds, and it's really awesome. So once again, you got them on those little sprues, easy to build, really cool. The extra packs of cards to expand the game and the mission and the missions, character cards, and once again, color coded. Celestial Lions are gold. The White Scars is kind of an off-white, almost really probably gray, because I think that's more of a 3D render we're seeing there. And then Hawk Lords, who normally have that kind of purplish tone. That's definitely not violet. It's more purple, I think. So really cool that they have that available for you guys to get your hands on. And there it is again. And so they show you them unpainted, and they show you what they look like painted. So if you look to expand, you want to get your kids involved, Games Workshop puts out some really amazing paint kits that come with a couple free miniatures and a brush and some paints, so they can test out on there. They'll have these to test out on, so they can kind of grow their army. And please be sure to tell them and emphasize with them, you don't have to paint them that way. It's really awesome. Let me see what Epion. I love these for nice travel games. Yeah, it definitely good travel games, especially if you're traveling to conventions, game conventions, tournaments and all that kind of stuff, and you're going outside of the city. In that aspect, this is a great, just, hey guys, we got like an hour to kill. You guys want to play a quick game? Cool, let's set up. And 30-45 minutes later, we're done. Let's go to the next thing, especially if you're going to big Comic-Cons or game conventions. Or if you're just traveling with the kids and you're staying at a hotel or staying at the grandparents, whatever, during the holidays. This is just you're going to be bored. There's going to be times where you guys are going to be sitting around watching the Christmas Story? Is it the Christmas Story? The Christmas Carol? No, the Christmas Story. For like the 30th time that day, where they play it over and over and over again. Or you're getting tired of, Christmas carols, or watching Lifetime movie, Christmas specials that all have the same story, same plot, same ending, just with different actors. You might get a little bored during Christmas time. So this is, as Epion says, is a great travel game, and it's not going to take up a whole lot of space. So I highly recommend that you guys jump on this, get it for the kids, get it for yourself, even if you are a diehard gamer. This doesn't really tickle your fancy, but it could be a good way to introduce people to the game. So let me check one thing here. Man, they are really late on the updates today. So Epion put in there about Blitz Bowl. So I totally forgot about Blitz Bowl. I'm gonna let's pull that up. Blitz, if I can spell Blitz Bowl. Yeah, there we go. Blitz Bowl. Oh my goodness. I'm just going to click on a whole bunch of these. Wow. Okay, good find there, Epion, or good call, Epion. Let's take a look at this. All right, Game of Sports Mayhem. This is another one. Yeah, well, you know what? They do have something similar. They do have an Warhammer Underworlds condensed version at Barnes & Noble. So now, ladies and gents, I don't know if this is actually at Target, but it is definitely at Barnes & Noble. This is basically fantasy football, not like, what all your friends and dads and wives and all that stuff get involved in picking their teams. This is literally elves and dwarves and orcs playing football, and humans and everything else. So this is actually, Blitz Bowl is a condensed game, so you're playing on about maybe a third size of the actual pitch or the field that you would play on, and not as many miniatures. But what's cool about this is it's like a third of the price of the big game. And did I get? I think my button I think there's something wrong with my mouse wheel or my mouse, because it's keeps double clicking. So they got mini versions of all the teams, and these are Barnes & Noble exclusives. So you have the Halfling team. If you want a whole bunch of Halflings, this is actually really cool. Oh, you took those on a cruise. That's cool. So yeah, you get 6 guys or Halflings in there. Yeah, I'm getting double clicked. Sorry about that. They've got an undead team, more team members there. Looks like a mummy, a bunch of zombies and skeletons, and that's probably a ghoul right there. So that's cool. Yeah, sorry about the double clicks. I don't know what's going on with this mouse. I'll have to take a look at that later. Chaos team, so you get some beastmen and some warriors, chaos. on there. And yeah, gosh darn it. But it's really cool that they've got these exclusive teams. These are many teams. And then the Skaven team, which are a bunch of rat men. And I like how I don't know what their quarterback is called, but I like this one here. He's using his tail. Looks like he's using that to throw the football or the ball. So really cool there. Yep, one more I think. And they've got a build and paint set. So this is actually going to Barnes & Noble, and you might even be able to check with your local game store. They might be able to get some of this, but I doubt they're able to get the exclusives. But I was talking about that paint set that you guys can get. And even though this is designed for the Blitz Bowl, all these colors right here are a lot of the basic colors that you can use for that the Warhammer 40,000 adventures. So for your Space Marines, these are all colors that you can use. And it also gives you some plastic glue, a pair of clippers, and a starting brush. So it's actually hitting up Barnes & Noble or your local game store. I don't know if this is an exclusive. Yeah, this is an exclusive. But it's that time of the year, ladies and gents, that you can capitalize on getting more people involved and not overwhelming them with all these rules, these big thick rule books and codexes and hundreds of options for miniatures and paints, and you'll need these supplies and all these dice and cards and everything else. You can actually start out small, very, very small. I highly recommend this. The Warhammer Adventures, the Labyrinth of the Necron, or the Blitz Bowl box here is some great, as Epion has said, it's great travel games. It's great getting people integrated. And for you parents or grandparents, it's a great way to get the kids to read, to do some math, to do some critical thinking and how they play the game. And when they do sit down and paint, it'll broaden their imagination and help their art skills. So, pretty much giving them a well-rounded experience and entertaining them for probably hours instead of having them sit down in front of a video game or a tablet or some sort of handheld. Really, really great opportunity here, ladies and gents. Don't miss it. Even if it's like you don't have kids, but your brothers or your sisters, somebody else does. You have maybe they have grandkids or nephews and nieces. Maybe your best friend has kids and you want to get them involved. This is the excellent opportunity. Blitz Bowl or the Warhammer Adventures for Warhammer 40,000. I'll cover on a later one because I'm running out of time. I'll cover the Underworlds one. I think it's another really good one. Something else I wanted to kind of cover for you all is, I am double clicking, is the Warhammer Adventures stories. These are really geared towards preteens, and it's not as grim dark as the regular Warhammer Age of Sigmar, Warhammer 40,000 books are, but it helps get them involved in the reading, get them involved in the lore, and helps kind of sync up with these games that you're buying them, and it just gets them reading instead of playing video games. You got to increase reading comprehensions. And if you want to see if the kids will be involved before you invest in the money, you can go to the warhammeradventures.com website, check it out, and also on YouTube. So when your kids are sitting there on their tablets, you've got the Warhammer Adventures YouTube channel that have all these little videos, and they even have audio dramas and such, but they have these little videos. And sorry about the volume. I don't know if there's going to be feedback, so I'm going to turn the volume off. But they actually have some videos, little short animated stories to help kind of tie in the books and get your kids involved, get them interested. When they see animated stuff like this, they're going to be like, okay, I want to know what's going on. I want to get involved. Mom, where can I get this stuff? Barnes & Noble, your local game store, whatnot. So I highly recommend that you go to the warhammeradventures.com, go to Barnes & Noble to try to get those early games, or those easy entry games with easy to build models where it's not complicated to play, and it can actually really enhance your guys' family experience, enhance the kids' experience, and really help grow the hobby. Grow this massive community that's getting bigger and bigger every day, because we want to keep getting the next generation involved. All right, so that's all I've got for today. I need to finish getting ready for work. I'm going to be on again tomorrow with probably covering Warhammer Underworlds and, of course, Marvel Crisis Protocol. Two other great games that, and I'm talking about the Warhammer Underworlds that you can get at Barnes & Noble. Two great games that are coming. One's coming out on November 15th. The other one is already out in stores, and we'll kind of cover those just in time for the holidays. And if I have, which I think I will, I might have a little bit of rumors and maybe a sneak peek pick of a certain model that might be getting Primaris in December. So you all have yourself a wonderful, wonderful day. It is Thursday. The weekend is almost here. And try to stay warm. It's like 42, 43 degrees here in Cypress, Texas. I'm actually got the heat on for once. So you guys stay warm, stay safe, and I will talk to you tomorrow, same time.